Welcome to our studio, Voice of India. My name is Rahi Gupta. We have a very special guest in our studio, Zaleena Sallam. Zaleena, welcome to our studio.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you have been so involved with the Multicultural Society and Folk Art Council. Tell me something about your involvement and your role.
Okay, I would be happy to. So I started off as a very young child visiting Folklorama, and I was always fascinated by it. And as I grew to become a little bit older, I got more involved with the pavilions at the pavilion level. I started off I was actually at that point, they called us security guards, but then we moved into the role of guest services. Mm-hmm. From guest services, I did a little bit of emceeing at our pavilion. I was the director of the dance groups for a little while. And then I was asked to represent the pavilion as one of their ambassadors. From that point, I actually then applied for the very high respected position now as an ambassador general. I became the ambassador general and held that position. What a great honor! Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It is. It's an amazing honor. From there, I applied for the board of Folklorama, where I sat on the board for several years, and I eventually became the president of Folklorama, and I was the president for 2 years. I still continue to be involved with the festival, and I'm now volunteering more so at the level of the different committees and all of these opportunities that they have. It's an amazing place to get volunteer experience to be a part of. When you become a part of Folklorama, it becomes a part of you, and you really don't want to ever let go of that. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity.
Tell our views about the volunteer itself, the passion you had. Yeah.
So I consider myself an amazing person with people. I love dealing with people. I love intermixing with people. Being a volunteer for Folklorama, it allows you to meet so many different cultures and so many different people.
And give you a very big exposure too.
Absolutely. You meet tons and tons of people. You get the opportunity to learn about the different cultures. And again, the opportunities that Folklorama allows, and this is just one of the places where I do the volunteering. Folklorama allows you to grow as an individual. It teaches you a lot of different things, skills, leadership skills, speaking abilities, and that you learn that, and you get that opportunity right from just being an ambassador for the pavilions. And then if you are fortunate enough, and I know within the community there's several that have gone on to be ambassador generals for us, and they did an amazing job. And any of the ambassador generals that they've had has done an amazing job of representing each individual culture that they come from. So it's a lot of good opportunities that you get by volunteering, not only with Folklorama, but if you choose to volunteer anywhere else. So it is an amazing, good opportunity for you.
No, but you had the passion to serve the community.
Absolutely. Yes, because we're now, my family, we've got 4 generations right now. So my mom, we would have had the background from India. So mom would teach us what she knew, and I felt myself
the family values and
the value, the passion, just to be able to give that to my children. So my kids, with my involvement my major volunteer involvement was Folklorama. So for me, when I started volunteering at Folklorama, the kids were with me all the time. So what better way of getting them involved? My daughters,
they got exposed to.
Absolutely, and they learned the culture, and they became very passionate about it as well, because I was passionate. I wanted to give back to the community. I wanted to teach them what I knew of my culture. We didn't want to lose that culture. So with that, the kids, while with me at the pavilions, they wanted to get involved. My daughters, one is now a mom, and she's graced me with 2 beautiful grandchildren. She's now
how blessed you are, how lucky you are.
Thank you. Yes, I feel very blessed. So she started dancing at the age of, I think, 11, and one of my younger daughter also started dancing. So they've been dancing Folklorama for many, many years. And again, with me being there for so many years, they've always been at the pavilion, so why not, do something to give back to the community.
What kind of challenges you face? Meeting with being in such a big position, there are a lot of challenges to be in with our own color and to be in a position like that too, right?
It's true, but I think again, when you're involved with the different cultures and the different communities, you really do get an understanding. People get to learn about you and your culture, and really, when there are challenges, of course, and the way to overcome that is to educate yourself. Find out about different cultures and find out what they're doing, and rather than looking for the differences, you look for the likes. and
Right.
the similarities, and then you really truly get to understand that other culture. And it's an amazing feeling to see all of these cultures. There were years that we've had up to 46 different pavilions represented, which means it's 46 different cultures
Different
being
culture.
represented.
Right.
So once you've had that, and to understand 46 different cultures, it really makes Winnipeg on the whole is a really small and really connected community. But I believe Folklorama is that link to everyone, understanding each other, really getting to appreciate each other's culture. You get to sample their foods when you visit their pavilions.
Definitely, yeah.
And the warmth that you get from each
And
of
the
these
honor
pavilions.
being,
And absolutely. The way they treat you when you are at the pavilions, it's like really going home. And you do, again, it's the education side, right? You learn about the different cultures. And really, you do start to respect, not only do you learn about theirs, but they also learn about your own culture. And everyone starts to respect each other for their similarities and their differences. It's what connects us all.
But you have become a role model for the whole entire community, right?
Well, I thank you for that, and you know, yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And whatever I can impart, and I've certainly tried. You know, if there's something that I can help with, I certainly try and do that. And again, on the volunteer side, I'll be more than happy to, you know, share whatever things that I've learned over the years.
Raising the family at the same time and devoting time for the community. Tell me something about it.
So again, I think with myself being involved with the community, I've always involved the children. It wasn't like I've done volunteering and I left them behind. I've been a single mom for many years, so even that. So when I went someplace, the kids came along. So I think that allowed them to also gain a really good respect and a good understanding of these different cultures, and getting them involved in the community, be it that they're dancing at a show, or, you know, one of my daughters now sings as well. She performs at 2 of the pavilions. She dances one week and she sings the other.
That's
So
very good.
those are all the things that they've learned just being around myself, and I've always kept them connected to the community. You know, they've got their school, and when you go to school, it's a whole different feeling or a different understanding or an appreciation. But then when they get connected to the community, they also become a little bit more closer to the community. They learn their background, their culture, and they really start to understand and embrace it, rather than, you know, saying, well, you know, we're different or what have you. So there are challenges for sure, but I think it depends on you yourself. Again, education is a huge part of that, and as long as you yourself educate yourself, you really do understand, and then it becomes a different perspective altogether.
Parenting yourself is a challenge anyway, right?
Absolutely.
You want to make sure the kids, you raise the value of understand very well and stay within the, you know,
The community.
set an example for. You know.
Absolutely, it is. And I think nowadays too, with everything that's going on in our world today,
Yeah,
it's even more so.
Pandemic
Has affected. It's
it affected lots.
a lot.
Even the hospitality industry, you come to the restaurants, the airline industry, people traveling less. It has jeopardized many people's career, jobs, students, university.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, it's amazing that we are here in Canada. I think we're fortunate. But again, there are many, many people that have been affected in many other ways. And the government has been, you know, decent enough to at least help and make sure that people are a little bit taken care of. Better than most parts of the world, I think.
You know, you
So-
yourself is a very successful business lady. Tell how it impacted the COVID, how it impacted your business.
Right. So I'm in the furniture business, as you know, and the office furnishing business. So it has impacted us. We see both sides. Unfortunately, we do see the offices now. Maybe it's a blessing for them in the sense that they don't have to have the overhead of, you know, leasing space or renting space.
Doing from home, many employees.
That's right. So a lot of the employers now have moved their employees to home. So our business has become a little different now. Rather than outfitting offices, we're now outfitting homes.
Oh, I
So
see.
people, when the pandemic started, when it hit, everyone decided to send the employees at home. They got them equipped with the IT that they needed. And everyone went home thinking, I'm just going to go home. I will use my kitchen counter or my kitchen table
Not the
and
same.
the chairs. It's not the same. Now that it's become more of a permanent thing, which a lot of the employers have decided that that's what it's going to be, they are realizing that they cannot do it. So they need a proper chair, they need a proper desk. So we do have that business still that we're able to accommodate for most people. Some of our suppliers that we deal with have now come out with the home offices.
Right.
So yeah, they're now producing items to go and fit into a home, so it doesn't look like a home office, but still you've got the comforts of having the desk at the right height. On the ergonomic side, you need to make sure that you're not slumped over, because if you're at a desk for 8 hours, you want to be
Of
comfortable.
course.
So those
Your
are the
health
things.
is more important. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then chairs is the same thing. Like we do used and new furniture. We found right on the start of the pandemic, or used furniture, the side on chairs especially, we couldn't stock enough used items, because it's good quality used chairs that somebody could come in and pick one up, at an affordable price that they could use at home and be comfortable. So those are all the things. So it's impacted a lot. Some businesses for the better, some businesses not so.
So many offices closed too, so they're...
Absolutely. And so for us, we see, like I said, we see both sides. We see where we get, because we deal in the used furniture, we get calls on a daily basis, are you interested in coming and having a look at such and such? And we're wanting to get, we need to get rid of these things because we're not going to be returning to the office in a hurry. So those are the things that we get a call on a regular basis. And it has become a challenge for a lot of people, and it's heartbreaking to some degree when you hear these offices, huge offices that are closing out and just getting rid of 40, 50 workstations or what have you. So
lot of vacant offices is available to downtown, especially.
Absolutely.
And people with growing children, they are a little scared too. Working from home and all that too, that's a big challenge too.
That's right.
With the coronavirus being a challenge in many school divisions and all that too. So parents with the small children, they are very scared to send the kids. So
yeah, they absolutely. So now they've got, if they're at a business that they cannot stay home, how do you care for the kids? If it is kids
that's
that
a
are
challenge,
going, yeah. So there's a lot of challenges that have come with that, but there's a lot of some good things have come out of it as well. Employees look at it on a good side in that they don't have the overhead, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that are out of jobs right now. I've got a pretty good connection with the community, so you hear of a lot of the young kids that have now graduated with their degrees, and they've got no jobs to go to, or there's nothing out there available for them. So they're taking
a lot of frustration, yeah.
Absolutely. So they're taking on 2 or 3 part-time jobs just to be able to survive until such time that they find a job in their field of study.
Tell me, the initiative which government took to help the people, especially the business, $40,000, that's a loan and all that too. And tell something about this.
So
you think is that enough?
Again, I think it's more than what some places have gotten. In Winnipeg, it depends on the type of business that you're in. Let's take the hospitality industry, for example. $40,000, they can make that in a day depending on the type of business. So if they're giving $40,000 as a one-time, incentive, or not an incentive, but as a relief.
But that's a loan.
Yeah,
you have to pay in the end 30,000. You have
30 back. Yeah, if you pay back within 2 years' time or something like that. I think those are the restrictions on it. But again, it's the loan that it's supposed to try and help you to get through these hard times. But there are some businesses that would make that in a day or two, and right now they don't have that. One of the industries that I think you can probably, right off the hop, you could look at are transportation.
Transportation, yeah.
Right? Nobody's going to work, so why would they need that? No one's flying.
Nobody's flying. Yes.
That's right.
No
one's
tourists
flying.
coming.
Yeah. So it's a huge impact on that. What is $40,000 going to do for those companies that are getting the $40,000? It is a major help, absolutely. But, some people might look at it, it's like nothing. If I was operational, I would. At the end of the day, I think, though, Mr. Gupta, we do have to think about the health and safety of everyone.
That's very important, yeah.
Right, and we all have to do our part there to make sure that we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing,
maintaining the social distance and wearing the mask, and no is mandatory in going anywhere.
That's right.
In the shopping and all that too.
Exactly.
So you think it's a good...
I believe, overall, I think Canada has done well, considering, the rest of the world, what they're doing.
Of course.
Yeah, we've done well in really managing that. And, we're giving the reports often enough. So we've done a good job, I think. Could there be more? Absolutely. There could always be more, help or relief or what have you. But again, I think when you look at the rest of the world as to what some governments are doing, I believe we're fortunate here in Canada that we've gotten the help that we've got. Yes, when you look, there's always the good and the bad to both sides of this. So on some occasions, in some instances, when you look at it, like I was saying, there's some businesses that could make the $40,000 in a day or two, if they were operational. However, it's something to get them through. And there are other incentives that they've offered as well. They've given incentives for rental lease payments and things like that. And
many businesses closed down too. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And so that's the other side of it, right? There's some businesses that just are not able to. They're, depending on the type of business that it is, they just are not able to sustain this type of, lockdown, let's call it. So there is the good and the bad to both sides of it, and it's heartbreaking because we do in our business we see both sides.
Any message you'd like to give to the people who are suffering with the crisis time, Corona?
You have to be smart in knowing when to say it's enough, or I've got to basically close the doors, unfortunately. But you don't want to really expend all of your resources trying to keep the doors open where you're not going to get the return on it. So I think it's just, you need to really make that decision. As heartbreaking as it can be sometimes for some businesses, they really need to look at the whole picture. We're being told, according to the government and the health organization, the World Health Organization, this isn't going to go away in about a few months or so. Most businesses they were giving themselves until October. Well, October is here now, and I think now the new date that they're looking at is next year sometime. Yeah. So when businesses
till the vaccine come in market,
that's right.
That would be a big relief too.
Yes, absolutely. And when that's coming, we don't know. So it's really difficult for especially small businesses when they are like thinking about, should I be closing the doors or shouldn't I be? I think they need to kind of keep those dates in mind and those times to make sure that they are actually doing themselves a favor by saying, okay, I can't be spending all of this money and not generating the income as well. That's on the other side. So I think if that's probably one of the things that I could impart on people, and just say, time it and really consider your options and look at what's best for you in the long run. It doesn't make sense to be spending all of this money if you're not getting the money coming back in as well.
Zaleena, thank you very much for being with us.
You're very welcome.
We appreciate your time.
Yeah, I thank you for having me.
Looking forward to see you again.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.